I'm hungry.
Gentlemen!
Shrink it! Get rid of it! It's not a special! If you're gonna keep doing this, it's not special
Ladies
anymore!
and gentlemen, it's the Limbo Grub Jelly Belly Bean Boozled Challenge! The Jelly Belly Candy Company brings yet another box of your favorite things. They're not Christmas jellies or ones of hot spice, but these will have you asking, naughty or nice?
Once again, it's gonna seem like your good buddy DJ Clive is talking out his ass, but always give me a little bit of time. I always wrap my words around to be applicable to the situation. So, hey everybody out there, you like superhero movies? I used to like superhero movies a lot. I'll get to the used to in a little bit. When you're a guy like me, stuck in an afterlife with an infinite amount of downtime, you'd find yourself doing really weird things just to occupy your mind. Just for S's and giggles, I put together a giant list of all the superhero movies I've seen, ranking they from the best to the worst. If I can manage to get a screen cap, I'll try to splice it up on screen here. Perhaps the biggest issue was the placement of the movie Captain Marvel. When I first saw it, I really enjoyed it. It was placed high in my top 20, I think right below Doctor Strange. And I'm a real stickler for this. I don't feel like opinions just change. I've heard so many people say that they liked a movie 1 minute and then just turn around and bash it. People hate movies with a passion, and yet for some reason, they have them sitting on their shelves. With me, I don't run from my opinions. Either I love them or I hate them, and as long as the movie itself doesn't magically change, that opinion has got to be unflappable. To turn your burning red arrow into a green arrow, it makes it come across as wishy-washy. Well, without getting into it in depth, because I'm sure a lot of my viewers will end up hating me for my hot take on this, I feel like every movie since Captain Marvel has become Captain Marvel. It's not just Marvel either. DC, as well as every other tentpole motion picture, is following that cookie-cutter formula. Now, I loved Captain Marvel, yes, but I don't want every movie to be the same damn thing. It gets old and predictable pretty quick. I love deviled eggs. Would I want to eat them every day? No, I feel like I'd barf at the sight of them after a while. My point is this, Captain Marvel, even though I love Goose with a passion, became the first movie I have retroactively hated upon. The first movie to cause me to flip-flop my opinion. Because of the irritating precedent that it set, I took it from the top of the list and put it closer to the bottom. Bean Boozled Jelly Beans. That Harry Potter review that I did, you'll note, I said was the greatest episode of 2020. But since then we've done the hot ones, we've done the Christmas ones, now we're doing these! This will be the 5th special we've done on the Bean Boozled Challenge! Remember how we talked about, I compared it to beating a dead reindeer? This is like the reindeer already being reduced to chum, the maggots have appeared, the vultures are circling wanting to get a taste of it, but I won't leave that body alone, I'm still there whacking it with my shovel! To be blunt, I'm starting to retroactively hate on that original special, just a little bit. Make this one the last one, please, because I loved that episode and it hurts to feel this way. So, without further ado, let me try to fake enthusiasm for the Bean Boozled Challenge. Who's naughty and who's nice? And this special will be uniquely scored by something I've been chomping at the bit to do for 100 episodes or so. The various tunes of the Commodore 64 Synth Chip. I hope we get some raw hubbard. And some of these flavors are repeat flavors from last time. Looks like booger, rotten egg, and toothpaste are back. And vomit is here also, but now it's called barf. I guess I'm gonna have to re-eat that one. So I guess I'll grade this whole thing thusly. I'll only cover the new flavors. I will not give they all individual ratings. Instead, I'll say what the best and the worst ones are at the end, and then give the whole experience an overall star rating. How about that? So, without any further discourse, I'm sure we'll be doing the poems again this time around. That's more damn work I'm gonna have to do. Mr. Announcer, take it away!
What jelly flavor could be much more vile than that of the organ which produces bile? Like sucking the juice out a pus-covered bunion, you'll grouse as you gobble this liver and onion.
Before I eat this jelly bean, FYI, the game is back. You've got two identical looking flavors. One's the winner, one's the loser. The winning flavor for liver and onions is cappuccino. Does this count as me checking liver off of the Dirty 10 list? If liver tastes like this, I'm in for a rude awakening when it comes to that review. There's something oddly specific about this flavor. Like a really weird, selective kind of gross. It almost tastes like licking a football. If that makes any sense. I can't say that I've ever licked a football in my... Actually, you know what? Maybe as a kid I have chewed on footballs before. So I stand corrected. Yeah, that's exactly what this tastes like. It tastes like the specific pig skin of a leather football. I don't know what liver tastes like, so I don't know what to expect there, and I definitely don't taste onions. Man, and as I keep popping these things into my mouth, I just got 3 duds in a row. No cappuccino whatsoever. I'm really being punished here. Alright, this is the last one. Let's see if I can be a winner just one time. I think that was the winner! But I bombed my mouth so harshly I can't even taste it! On to the next one.
Do you like to eat your Band-Aids when you bleed? Well, then there is one candy that you will need. If this is your candy, that's your disadvantage, because this jelly bean tastes just like an old Bandage.
FYI, the winning flavor for Old Bandage is pomegranate. Oh! Ah! My goodness! Oh! It tastes like inflatable inner tubes! Yeah, it's exactly what it tastes like. There's something very rubbery and elastic about it. Holy crap. I've worn costumes and stuff where I've had to like have latex like pressed up against my mouth, almost into my mouth. That's exactly what that tastes like. My goodness. My heart goes out to the people who had to invent these flavors and create that specific taste in somebody's mouth, because how the heck do you do the research? Well, this blows the other one out the water. I sit up and applaud for that one. We really set a high bar for the next ones. Let's see if it can be out gross, but I doubt it. Holy moly.
It's like acid reflux of acid reflux, and they're out to make sure that they're eater upchucks. The rest of these jelly beans go ahead and scarf, but leave behind orange ones flavored of barf.
FYI, the winning flavor for barf is peach. Dear Mario, I baked a cake for you. I'll see you later in my castle. Signed, Princess Toadstool. Peach. You only knew how hard it was for me to do that while suffering through this flavor. I'm trying to remember what the vomit jelly bean tasted like. I think it was pretty much the same thing. And when I look at this box, I guess these things kind of run like Garbage Pail Kids, because this one says 6th edition. Which means that I'm a little bit late on the game for this one. There have actually been lots of little changes to Bean Boozled along the way to get to this point. And by the looks of this, it looks like they only changed 2 flavors at a time. So I really hope that they didn't cheat the customers out one year and just say, hey, here's our new flavor, and they just renamed one of the old flavors. I like to think that Jelly Belly is better than that, but who knows? Every business becomes a little bit shifty after a while. Why not them? Anyway. On to the next.
For days you neglected to wash up the sink, and now something in there is starting to stink. Go out to the world, tell your son and daughter, away with the jellies of dirty dishwater!
FYI, the winning flavor for dirty dishwater is birthday cake. I remember in one of the past episodes, there was a soap flavored jelly bean. This tastes a little bit like that, only slightly corrupted. It's such a harsh backstabbing putting this in your mouth, because it is definitely the most festive looking of all the jelly beans here. It's got all sorts of cute little dots on it. What happens to those dots? They don't equate to any flavor, they just equate to misery. Holy Moses. I don't know what the flavor is. I don't know where they got this flavor. I mean, yeah, the soap, I guess that kind of constitutes dishwater. Maybe they just like took one of the old disgusting flavor, like one of the other flavors, and mixed it in with the batter of the soap jelly bean and came up with this. It's a logical explanation. But hey, in this case, the grosser it is, the more it's doing its job, so steady's the course, guys!
When eating candy, what you'd least expect is a jelly that tastes just like an insect. It's a flavor you'll want to sweep under the rug. You bit straight into a slimy stink bug!
FYI, the winning flavor for stink bug is toasted marshmallow. Let's see if I can get lucky. No! Who am I kidding? I'm never lucky! I think what makes this so gross is that it's so light. It's like such a meandering flavor. This just like takes residence in the back of your taste buds. It barely even registers, but it does bring to mind like eating a small insect. You can almost taste like the insides and like the little stomach and like all the guts and organs of the creature. But what I don't get is the stink. It's supposed to taste like a stink bug. You'd think with a name like that, it would just in your mouth and whitewash the insides of your mouth with black. And then you would be running to the hills trying to get some water or perhaps one of these toothpaste flavored jelly beans to wash out your mouth. It's nothing like that. It just, I don't know, it's a different kind of disgusting and not the right kind of disgusting for something called stink bug in my opinion. It's notably gross, but you know what? If you just mix this in with some regular jelly beans, I'd probably just eat right through it and not even think too much about it because, like I said, it's very, very light. It just seems like maybe it was a jelly bean that glitched through the system. It doesn't taste like anything special, so hopefully the next one down the road can do a little bit better than that and not shit the bed. Shit the bed. Now there's a flavor.
It's a taste that will make you fall straight to the floor so the fisherman can end your life with his oar. The whole time you'll eat it, you'll fold hands and wish you were not eating jelly beans of dead fish.
FYI, the winning flavor for dead fish is strawberry banana smoothie. Sounds delicious. Oh my god! Archie McPhee, get out a pen and paper and take some pointers. This is how you do it. It doesn't just taste like a dead fish. It tastes like I ate the head of a dead fish. Take it from a guy who's eaten an innumerable amount of fish items out of cans. Oysters, mussels, clams, kipper, haddock, whitefish. I feel like I'm right back in front of you with one of those little tin cans in front of me, unraveling it with a key. Holy crap, this tastes so legit! To those of you who have seen when I interviewed Jarrah White on that Channel Zero News special I did like 10 years or so ago, it's really hard to go back to. I mean, go back and watch it if you want, but just know that it's going to be really poor quality. You'll note that my interviewing skills are a little bit rusty. I'm not really good at it, but I would give money to interview the people who worked on this. I need to know how the heck do you go about setting on that journey to make dead fish flavored jelly beans. I want to know what kind of ingredients you put in there to create and just completely replicate this very specific taste in a candy. Candy's supposed to be so happy, so chipper, so fun, so tart, so yummy. What did you do? What did you do?
It's a flavor that gags you and makes you turn blue, and tastes of something drank out of a shoe. It fills the mouth cavity with mild epox. It tastes like a pair of my stinkiest socks.
FYI, the winning flavor for stinky socks is Tutti Frutti. If only little Richard were eating this and not me. It's got a specific kind of musty taste to it. Tastes really, really old. And on top of that, it almost tastes like kind of like burlap. Like if somebody were to put like a dirty gag on your mouth. You were trying to like force that gag off of your mouth with your tongue to try to save your own life. Yeah, I think that kind of qualifies as a sock. Did you know that the human foot is the only part of the human anatomy that can be juiced? You heard it on YouTube. It must be true. How? This is just another one of those instances when I have to know. I just have to know what was going on at the Jelly Belly factory. I picture some poor, like, weaselly little worker, like a little nerdy type, like a laboratory area in their factory, and he's perfecting all the flavors. He's like got his little eyedroppers, got little beakers and Bunsen burners, whatnot. He's going just trying to get his way through the day. And then some higher up at some stuffy executive boardroom says, you know what? We want to make stinky sock flavored jelly beans. So they search over hill and dale all over the factory, just trying to find their biggest, fattest, sweatiest, hairiest worker, and they have him come waddling over to the laboratory area. He comes and goes back, sticks his foot up on the table, takes his shoe off, and goes, "Lick my foot. There's your new flavor." This poor little guy, he went to school for years and earned a degree to do this. And here he is, he's trying to construct his perfect jelly bean. He pops it in his mouth and goes, I don't know, does that taste right? I guess I gotta go check. And just to compare flavor, he goes over this guy's foot and repeatedly, I don't know. And after 12 months of that, he goes to the boardroom and they fire him because his jelly bean doesn't taste enough like a foot. There is a specific venereal disease out there, which I read that in order to spread it through saliva, you would have to drink 5 gallons of it. Imagine the poor guy who had to do that! He drank gallons and gallons and gallons of spit, and after that 6th gallon, he had a disease to show for it. I hope they gave him a good retirement package. Well, everybody, we've reached the end of yet another Bean Boozled Challenge video. How did I come out of it? Well, this taste in my mouth tastes a little bit more musty than last time. As a matter of fact, I remember the first go-around with the Bean Boozled Challenge, there was a lot more flavors that just obliterated your tongue. Maybe there were like 1 or 2 like this musty, kind of like stale, like mold flavors, but this one just seemed to be predominated by them. There were just, I'd say a good majority of them were that moldy, disgusting, like powdery kind of taste. If I could sum it up with onomatopoeia, Series 1 Bean Boozled goes like this. Series 6 goes more like this. Whatever floats your boat, but I think Series 6 sounds a little less fun. So now to divulge the winners and the losers. The grossest flavor of all, drum roll! I don't think I made it any secret at all. The grossest flavor of the whole cadre is dead fish. Dead fish is definitely the second worst Jelly Belly jelly bean I've ever had in my life. Number 1 will always go with that skunk spray. I don't think that's being dethroned anytime soon. Dead fish deserves top honors because it's just so gross, it's so nasty, and it tastes very much like the real McCoy. Or should I say, the real raw koi. And as for the worst flavor that we tried today, and by worst I mean least offensive, flatulence roll. Stink bug. Almost tasted a little bit like the booger jelly bean in that it was just kind of an off taste. Really didn't taste so gross, it just was a really light, kind of off taste. Hey, remember when there was that big mishap at the Nestle Crunch factory and all the Crunch bars going down the assembly line were getting caught in the gears of the machine and grinded up? And so to cut their losses, all the Nestle employees just got their brooms, swept up the pieces of chocolate bar and resold them to the public as Bunch of Crunch? Well, Jelly Belly kind of did the same exact thing with their product called Belly Flops. I'm not sure if you've ever seen it. It's all the jelly beans that went down the assembly line and didn't meet customer specifications. And that's what the stink bug was like to me. It didn't taste like a flavor that was purposely disgusting. It tasted like a normal, delicious flavor that along the way kind of went awry. It tasted like the specifications were a little bit off. That was a little lopsided. That it was not built to code. But to be brutally honest, the stink bug was not my least favorite flavor in this box. And I know what you're thinking. DJ Clive, what are you, lying to us? Well, keep in mind, there were 3 flavors in this box that we did not review today. They're carryovers from last time. And I didn't mention them because I believe that those specific flavors factor into the overall grade, which I'm going to get to now. I give this the rating of 1.5 stars. There are a lot of factors that come into play here, but let me start with this because I already mentioned it. The bleh of Series 1 is a lot more fun than the bleh of Series 6. Naturally. I feel like Series 1 shot for the stars when it came to its gross ideas, while Series 6 wallowed in the sickness. It's just not as enjoyable. Number 2, another thing I mentioned before, these flavors are too similar. I mentioned in Series 1 there was way more diversity, that only 2 flavors gave me that weird, musty, moldy taste in my mouth. I feel like all these new flavors gave me that same feeling, and after a while, they all start to bleed together. I've already forgotten what that liver and onions one tasted like. Number 3, and this is a complaint carried over from last time, all these flavors are random. There's no guarantee that you're gonna get every flavor that's listed on the back of this box. And remember what happened with the Harry Potter jelly beans? Remember that I had to buy 3 boxes to taste every flavor? Well, the same damn thing happened here, and let me tell you, I got real lucky. I only had 1 of the red old bandage jelly beans. 1! That means if I didn't get the gross one, if I ate it and it tasted like a pomegranate and not like old bandages, I'd be shit out of luck. This is considered a Christmas set, and they're not available for purchase at the time I review this. So the chance to eat delicious old bandage flavored jelly beans would have had to have waited a whole other year. And lastly, number 4, and this is the biggest black eye in my opinion, they made some real dim-witted decisions in what they carried over from last time and what they got rid of. They brought back toothpaste, folks. Toothpaste was the dumbest idea from that first series. Oh, just think of the concept. If it doesn't taste like delicious berry blue, it tastes like delicious toothpaste. It makes no sense. It's a blight on the whole concept. I said that much last time, and it survived to see the 6th series? Who's in quality control over there? And need I remind you, the flavors that came back are toothpaste, booger, and rotten egg. Where's the skunk spray? The standout star of Series 1? How could anyone have eaten that jelly bean and not thought it was the worst of the bunch? Why would you bring back fucking toothpaste and not bring back the skunk spray? What, was it too gross? Were people complaining? If that's the case, then these people are just not worthy to have your product in the first place. You're gonna cater to them? No, don't cater to them, cater to me! How about next time, guys? You just forget the 6th series, 7th series thing, and just give us a whole new thing. That's right, wipe the slate completely clean and give us 10 all-new flavors. And yeah, I'm sure the people at the Jelly Belly factory are probably saying that they've already done it all and that they've exhausted all their options. If those people out there just by chance might be watching this video and you need some ideas, look nowhere else but my comment section! That's right, I invite you all to make the perfect box of Bean Boozled jelly beans if you can. Now, keep in mind what's already been done, don't do those. Light up the comment section with your own ideas! So let's see, I'll start off. My personal box of Jelly Belly Jelly Bean Boozled beans would be like envelope lick, aspirin, wood stain, dog poo, halitosis, undercooked meat, horseradish, asparagus, and roadkill. There's mine. I invite you all to do the same thing. It's your good buddy DJ Clive saying until next time! Kinda just wanna sit here and enjoy the music. Love that C64. I'll see you in Limbo!